Ladies and gentlemen, this presentation is based on a very ancient Latin proverb or citation, per aspera ad astra. It means that to the stars, though on a very rough road. And this presentation shows you, or I want to illustrate with this presentation, what we have lost in 2022 when the Ukrainian-Russian war broke out and stopped the dream of the new Silk Road, which was designed to connect the European Union economy with the Chinese economy through the Russian pathways. That is the northern pathway of the new Silk Road. Sic itur ad astra, per aspera ad astra. This is the original Latin verses from Virgilius' poem, large poem, and God Apollo told it to Aeneas, who were fleeing from Troy and seeking a new home in Italy. And indeed, this road to Europe or to Italy, per aspera ad astra, is very rough. Four of the largest mountain ranges of the world can be found along this road: the Tian Shan, the Altai Mountains, the Pamir Mountains, and the Caucasus Mountains. So, between China and Europe, there are two continental, if we take into consideration just the continental and not the ocean or marital routes, there are two possible continental ways between China and Europe. That is one in the north, through or via Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Russia, Ukraine, and Hungary. And the other is the southern continental route from China via Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Iran, Turkey, and Bulgaria, Serbia, and Hungary. And now this presentation is based on an experiment we carried out a long time ago, actually, relying on the data from 2002 to 2017. So 15 years data were processed for a Foresight experiment. We used the GNOME data for service, food, export and import figures. And the Foresight was carried out for the period of time between 2018 and 2022. Now let's see the results only from 2022, whereas in this slide you can see the export and import data for foreign trade opportunity spaces of the Hungarian service industry along OBOR, that is the One Belt, One Road, the abbreviation for One Belt, One Road, north of the new Silk Road based on the forecast changes between 2018 and 2022. You see that from China via Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Russia, Ukraine, and Hungary, there is high, middle, and low level of opportunity spaces for foreign trade action or activity. And the other slide, this slide shows the foreign trade opportunity space of the Hungarian food industry along OBOR, north of the new Silk Road, based on the forecast changes between 2018 and 2022. This route, along this route, you can see the changes of import possibilities and export possibilities from China to Hungary via Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Russia, Ukraine, and Hungary. And there is another calculation for foreign trade opportunity space of the Hungarian service industry along the Obor South route. You can see the big difference between the import possibilities and the export possibilities from the point of view of Hungarian foreign trade. This slide shows the foreign trade opportunity space of the Hungarian food industry along Obor South of the New Silk Road based on the forecast changes between 2018 and 22. Again, you can see quite huge differences between the import space possibilities for the foreign trade activity and the export space possibilities in different countries along the route. Here you can see a very interesting picture, so-called association geography of the North Continental Obor from China to Germany, in this case, where we use, or I use, the former data, and the results are shown in a diagram where there are trains either trying to go against headwind or going with backwind in the different terrain along the Obor, along the New Silk Road. You can see that there is a strong headwind possibility or environment for the foreign trade activity between China and Mongolia, and from Mongolia towards Russia, there is the so-called Russian-Kazakh Valley, where there is a backwind, which means a supporting environmental endowments for foreign trade activity and transport activity. And from Russia to Ukraine, to Hungary, actually, there is a very strong headwind which tries to block the foreign trade possibility. Mind you, this was made just before the Ukrainian crisis, the Ukrainian-Russian war, before the war, but even then the circumstances and environmental possibilities were not so very favorable for this activity. And today it is completely destroyed and dead, actually. But however, there is after the Ukrainian slope, there is the Hungarian peak, from where there is a backwind circumstance item and a very calm environmental situation for foreign trade from Hungary towards Germany along the so-called German plateau. You can see the energy level of this very interesting topographic economic picture from the energy level between 90% and 40% of the foreign trade possibilities. Now this is the other, the southern variety of the New Silk Road, the continental New Silk Road. In this you can see again a very strong headwind environment against or blocking or trying to slow down the foreign trade activity between China and Tajikistan. There is a so-called Tajik peak. Whenever the foreign trade activity reaches the Tajik peak, there is a strong backwind helping the activity towards the Uzbek Canyon in Uzbekistan, and there is the Turkmen peak, again in a headwind, against a headwind situation, and from the Turkmen peak there is a backwind situation towards the Persian Canyon in Iran. From Iran to the Balkans through the Caucasian environment, there is the so-called Caucasian slope in associated geography, where there is a calm situation, a headwind situation in Balkan, between Turkey and Bulgaria, and from Bulgaria, from the Balkan, so-called Balkan peak, there is again a backwind situation helping the foreign trade activity towards the German plateau through the Carpathian slope and Hungary. So this is a very interesting imaginary picture showing the difficulties, the preventing and the helping items in foreign trade activity. Thank you very much for your attentions.